Stories. South Korea and Japan have said that North Korea has conducted its fifth nuclear test today after meteorological agencies reported a surface-level seismic tremor near the North's known test site that indicated it was its most powerful yet. South Korean President Park Geun-hye in Lao PDR after a summit of the Asian leaders said it was a nuclear test. Park said North Korean leader Kim Jong-un was showing maniacal recklessness in completely ignoring the world's call to abandon his pursuit of nuclear weapons. Isolated and aggressive North Korea conducted its fourth nuclear explosion in January and followed it up with a series of missile tests despite severe United Nations sanctions. On Monday, it fired 3 medium-range missiles during a G20 summit in China that was attended by US President Barack Obama and other world leaders. Obama held unscheduled meetings with Park Geun-hye and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe after the missile test and said Washington needed to maintain a sense of urgency within the international community on sanctions against Pyongyang. Japan also described the seismic event as a nuclear test. If a nuclear test is confirmed, it could have been timed by North Korea to coincide with the anniversary of its 1948 foundation as a republic. Its continued testing despite sanctions presents a severe challenge to Barack Obama in the final months of his presidency and could become a factor in the US presidential elections due to be held in November. Japanese Prime Minister said a nuclear test could not be tolerated. Japanese Foreign Minister lodged a protest and Tokyo also sent 2 military jets to begin measuring for radiation. China's Environment Ministry began emergency radiation monitoring along its borders with North Korea in the northeast China. And let's go across to our correspondent Amritpal Singh joining us for more on that. Amrit, has any confirmation or any official confirmation from North Korea come so far whether it was a nuclear test?
Yes, North Korea, Pyongyang has confirmed. Its state television is confirming that it has conducted a nuclear test. It said it's a nuclear warhead explosion. And the test, what Pyongyang calls is to counter U.S. hostility. That's what the North Korean state TV is reporting. At a function marking the 68th anniversary of the founding of North Korea. But this is what the state TV said, and what was being alleged by South Korea since morning, and now the state television of North Korea has said that it has conducted a nuclear warhead explosion.
All right. Now that we have heard an official confirmation from Pyongyang, Amrit, what is this development and impact going to have on the geopolitics?
Well, we have the UN General Assembly coming up, so we could see world leaders converge there and call for tighter sanctions and a sanctioned regime against North Korea. President Obama had warned North Korea even as latest as day before yesterday at the East Asia Summit, and where he met the South Korean president. He said in the last 4 months of his office he would try to bring around North Korea, but he also admitted that it's increasingly difficult. But now, given that the way South Korea and Japan have reacted to it, we can expect something to come up at the UNGA, because it's in clear defiance of the international regime, the UN, the United Nations, which has been calling North Korea to halt its nuclear program, which North Korea does not seem to be heeding to.
Right. Even though the pressure from the international community and also from United Nations is increasing on North Korea, but North Korea has been defying those sanctions, it becomes all the more imperative for North Korea, and the pressure seems to be mounting on North Korea to really meet its international obligations.
Well, look, North Korea's stance has been defiant. They want to make it very clear that they want to go ahead and conduct, strengthen its nuclear program. In fact, when the leaders of G20 were meeting on Monday, it conducted 3 missile tests in the South Japan Sea. So clearly it was a signal to the world that it wants to go ahead with its nuclear program, and in fact, it wants to build a missile capability. Now, it remains to be seen because it's really, the world knows that North Korea has a program, but whether the question is whether it can marry that to its missile program and put those nuclear warheads on that. And that would be the more worrying aspect for the world, which the world really is looking at. And also, given that U.S. is keen and South Korea is extremely keen to deploy an anti-missile system called THAAD or THAAD
Yes.
in South Korea, which China vehemently opposes. If things keep going this way, the hostility would increase. It will be interesting to see how China reacts to it, because China has made its opposition very, very clear to it. So now, because Pyongyang, China is the only ally of North Korea, which trades with North Korea and is a major trading partner. It remains to be seen how the world community can push China to rein in South Korea, because that's the only ray of hope. But right now, North Korea, it seems, is in full defiance and wants to go ahead and wants to signal to the world that it will not yield to what it calls hostilities or led by the United States.
All right, Amritpal Singh, thanks very much for joining us for the moment and putting that entire development into perspective. So North Korea has conducted its biggest nuclear test so far, clearly in defiance of the restrictions and the sanctions that have been imposed against the country. We'll keep a track on the developments.